Welcome to the Mixed Experience once again. We got Paul Farmer. How's it going, Paul?
Pretty good, Josh. How about you?
Doing all right. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
How's your day been?
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, mine.
Getting better as it goes.
I know. I love it, don't you? Mine's been pretty good too, so can't complain. So, how's everything up your way in North Carolina?
Oh, right up the road there. Yeah, we're just waiting on this snow that we may or may not get.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, if we do get it, it's going to be no ice, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say, because, man, that
Right
ice
on.
so very deadly, and I hate being out in the ice or the snow.
Yeah.
It's fun when you get out and just hang out in it and play and all that stuff, but if you got obligations and appointments and work and all that stuff, it just makes it really tough,
Oh, yeah. Snow in the South, chaos.
Yeah.
It's like sticking a Baptist in a Catholic church. It ain't going to work.
And it only sticks around for like, what, 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days,
I mean,
people act like it's Armageddon,
I know. I went to the grocery store and it was like playing full-on football.
Oh, yeah. The last ice storm we were supposed to get up here in North Georgia, my wife, she always says, oh, no, I went home, there's 2 gallons of milk in the fridge, 4 loaves of bread. I said, what are you doing? Come on, 3 days at the most. 3 days.
Everything in the world.
You
Get
know.
some steaks. Get some hamburgers.
Yeah, I mean, can you see our ancestors looking back at it? What do you do? This is what we fought and died for. Oh, God.
Yeah,
A
that's
few
crazy.
snowflakes.
Yeah, they were saying one time about what your great-grandparents would have never done,
Oh, yeah.
and they were talking about going jogging.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, times change and things are getting a little weird with the AI stuff and everything else and all that. And
It's getting crazy.
yeah, and talking about times changing, I mean, I think our military has
Oh, yeah.
really changed.
Yeah. It's, I saw this thing on YouTube. I'm scrolling. I scroll YouTube. And I saw this thing, this Venezuelan soldier, he's like telling, that, hey, we saw when they got, what was his name? Maduro?
Yeah,
Or whatever?
yeah.
And which I think was a good thing. He's a bad guy. Should have done it a long time ago. And coodads, they were saying they saw the helicopters come in, and we had all this anti-aircraft. Because when I heard about it, I thought, no casualties. We didn't get a helicopter shot down.
Yeah.
How do they? I mean, I know we're good.
Yeah.
We're the best in the world. God bless them. That's why we're able to sit here and do this. And we can disagree, but hey, one thing we got to agree on. Thank God for our military, because you can get out there, if you can protest something, fine, or do whatever. Thank God for them, because you couldn't do that without them.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were saying, how'd they do that? And he says, man, we saw them, and we were getting ready to launch anti-aircraft, and all of a sudden nothing works. Nothing works. No
Nothing.
cell phones.
No
Nothing.
cell phones, no computers.
Nothing.
No.
Everything just went like somebody pulled the plug.
Oh, wow.
And he said, then it was like we got hit by a brick wall, just, And he said, we're laying there, and he's like saying it's like 8 helicopters and 20 guys. I'm thinking, what? He said, they just go in there and get him, because he said, I'm laying there bleeding
you
out of
just
my nose.
Imagine that, just
Yeah.
out of nowhere, just like getting something. It's just, bam.
Can you,
Yeah.
I've heard about it years ago, like in Cuba, the sonic weapon.
Yeah.
They talk, but you think, but then this guy, and naturally I thought, well, maybe this is just some guy in Utah
Yeah.
saying this. But I think, this is just Paul's opinion. I'm thinking maybe this guy was legit after I heard some other stuff, because he said they just walked in there and got him. And, you heard about Maduro and his wife being injured.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure that this sonic weapon is not delicate,
If it's making you bleed from the eyes.
Yeah, he said he was
No,
bleeding from the nose. He said some of his comrades, some of his other soldier buddies died. They were dead.
That's almost like a supersonic type
Yeah.
of sound. Like if you go to a concert and you can feel the music,
can
like
feel it.
especially if you're like in a small venue and you're around huge speakers, I mean, it goes in you. Like you can and I would imagine like with something that powerful, it could like affect your heart rate, everything.
I mean,
right? So yeah,
I mean, I don't mean to be, but everybody saw DC and Marvel movies, Batman versus Superman. He hits Superman with sonic weapons, and even he goes, Hulk in that one with I can't remember his name, Edward Norton. They use it on him, and hey, he don't like it either.
Yeah.
Come on, I mean, that's all fiction, but maybe not.
Maybe
because and then what really got me, I still thought, it's bull. Then Trump gets on there, President Trump, and God bless him. I mean, whether you like him, don't like him, you got to admit, I think the country's safer with him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And he gets on there and he says, we use stuff that you've never seen before, nobody's ever seen before, and then that got me thinking, hey, maybe this guy from Venezuela was legit, that we've got stuff that, and I think we do.
Well, I mean, they're saying, okay, same thing with Iran.
Right.
We went there and took that out.
So everybody's been talking about that for years. He finally did something which should have been done years ago.
But if you listen to the what they're saying is no other country could have done it.
No other country
the way we done it.
Right.
And what's the reason? There's a reason behind them saying that.
Yeah.
And these other countries know.
Exactly.
They know. And for us to go in there and do something, I mean, they're not going to tell us everything.
No, they won't. They can't. And I understand that. You can't. You can't go out here and.
Yeah.
But for years, it got me. Okay, Maduro and that, but the one before him, I can't remember. Hugo Chavez.
Yeah.
Everybody talks, but hey, let's do something.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like when a country does something like Russia invades Ukraine or all the stuff going on. Like,
it really does. I mean, I think we try. America tries.
Yeah, it tries. Oh, the UN will send a letter. It's like Trump's, we'll send a letter.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't approve of this, and we're going to hold you accountable. What does that mean? It's like when your neighbor, he's doing a bunch of bad stuff. You go over and, hey, could you stop? Well, yeah. But to get his attention, like, hey, because Trump, he went and got him, and everybody's worried about them getting a nuclear weapon. And what didn't make sense to me, okay, they're trying to get a nuclear weapon. Well, we're going to do this and this and this to try to stop them. It ain't going to work.
I think,
he went in there and did something.
If they would treat other countries like an HOA, like in a neighborhood.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Cut your grass.
You better cut this grass, and you better do it by tomorrow. There's going to be consequences. Amen, brother. I mean, come on.
I mean, I think that's like, that's kind of how it is. Like, look, you do this, and you do it. If you don't, we'll come in and we'll take care of things, but you have to stop being a tyrant. You know what I mean?
It's like my dad. We need to go cut firewood. He come in on Saturday. Hey, get up. It's 8:00. Let's go now. I'll give you an hour. Let's get up.
Yeah.
By 15 minutes later, it was not so nice. The niceties were over.
That was
the cover came off, and you got up, and you were glad to. Yeah, I'm ready to go, Dad. Woohoo! Yes, sir. Let's go. There's got to be consequences.
Yes.
We're going to build a nuclear weapon. Well, we can't allow you to do that. You need to stop. That ain't going to work. I'm sorry. I wish it would, but it ain't.
We appreciate the fact that you use our money to build it, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our money back, and we're not going to let you build it.
Exactly.
Because you're not honest about it. So, And
it's not like he didn't. He warned them. He said, "Hey, stop doing it." Like in what was it in Africa? Quit doing it.
Yeah.
They tell you, but he ain't going to. And you got to, after you say something 2 or 3 times, there got to be consequences.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because appeasement never works.
Never works. Never works.
When you try to appease people, they take advantage of you.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's what's been happening to America.
Oh yeah.
It's like we'll send you all this money And you know, I can understand where it's like if we're looking at the general public and all that stuff, and the people of the country, not the leaders. You know, those people need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, and they need, you know, they need help and stuff like that, because a lot of people are starving and all that stuff in the world and everything else. And there's nothing wrong with helping them, because they're just like anybody else. But when you got leaders that are like, we're going to starve our people to death, we're going to take that money you give us, and we're going to be able to help, and we're going to use it on you. That's the dumbest thing that anybody. That's like me saying, hey, I'm going to give you all my money so you can buy a gun, and then when you want to shoot me, I'm going to say, please don't shoot me.
Yeah.
Don't kill me.
Yeah.
You know, it makes no sense.
And I think you could do that generally in today's society, anywhere you want to do. There's no consequences.
Yeah.
You got to have consequences, you know. If you do this is going to happen, you know. And
I mean, well, we learned that early in school, where it's like, I mean, you know, every action has a consequence, right?
Exactly.
Every action has a reaction.
Exactly. Me and my cousin, Greta, were talking about, we both had her, when I remember 4th grade, Willie Lou Shields, God rest her soul, was a teacher, despised her when I was in 4th grade, but looking back, she was great. Because you know what? When she told you once, twice, she was going to, I don't even know if they do corporal punishment where they paddle you in school anymore, but she did. She was a firm believer in it. And let me tell you, this little old lady, you know, that she had cattle too and was a school teacher, and you think, let me tell you something.
Hey.
Strong little woman. She sure could, I mean, you know, but you knew.
Yeah.
And look, I still remember that. I'm 57 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember that. She said, hey, look, there's going to be consequences, Mr. Farmer, you know, and they were. And you remember that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's, we're getting off the subject, I know, back to military. You know, when you think about a weapon like that, I'm just going to tell you now, this is just Paul's opinion, and everybody goes, oh, he's crazy. But I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and I also believe in aliens. And I believe you can believe in both. I do. And I believe they may have took some alien technology and reverse engineered it and made this weapon, you know?
Mean,
I'm just saying, you know?
I mean, look.
That may not be true, but they certainly have stepped it up.
There's more proof out there now than there's not.
Well,
you
there's
know,
not.
When we were growing up, you know, you heard about aliens. It was on movies.
Yeah.
And where's that coming from?
Exactly.
I mean, okay, where is all that coming from? Like, Bigfoot, all those stuff, and all that, it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to me,
exactly.
Like, if I've personally never seen an alien, but
Me either.
I wished I could, but there are times where I'm out here. We live in North Georgia, and Paul lives in North Carolina, which is only
we live right on the line.
Yeah, a step down the road. So, and we can see. I mean, the sky is beautiful at night.
Yeah,
we can see.
Gorgeous.
There's no lights. We don't live in the city, and there's sometimes I just go out there when I'm walking the dog or whatever, and you can see all kinds of stuff up there moving around. I see satellites. And I had a picture of the Starlink. It went across the lake over here one time, so it freaked me out when I saw it. It was like, I don't know, it was like 7 or 8 satellites. I was like, oh my goodness,
what is that?
And honestly, look, and I'm not trying to sound stupid, but I was kind of stupid because it freaked me out. I saw it. It came across the lake over here, and I took a picture of it, and I was freaking out. I pulled up to the side of the road. It was like, I thought I was going to get abducted or something. But anyway, I went home, and I came in here, and I told Lacey, I was like, we need to go now. We need to go. And we ran down the road and got all the way down there. It was already gone.
Oh, yeah.
But I was freaking out. But, yeah, it was so good. So.
I'll tell you an experience, and I don't know if I've told you this. Me and Josh worked together, too. But when I was a kid, I can't remember how old I was, 7, 8, my sister, she's like 15 years older than me, Betty. But it was a summer. I remember that it was a summer, and I'm doing something. I remember Mom's on the phone, Dad's doing something. She runs in there, grabs me by the arm. You gotta see this. You gotta see this. What are you doing? And she was, I was doing my thing. I was playing some game or something, and she, the little football thing, that was state of the art then, and now is antique. But she drags me out in the front yard, and it's dark. It's summer, but it had just turned dark, and there was a thing hovering over the trees. It looked like a kid's spin top.
Yeah.
The thing they used to do with the handle, and it was spinning. It was shaped like that with lights around it.
Okay.
And I'll never forget the noise. It was like shh, 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 shh. And it just kind of like puts you in this daze, and I was staring at it. First I was scared.
Yeah.
Then I was like, what is this? And we were looking at it. About that time my dad comes out there. What are you doing? A dog was barking, and it shot up and shot out. Now look, I'm not saying that it was from Mars or Venus or wherever, but I'm saying I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Could it have been of earthly origin? Of course it could. It could have been something they were testing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was. But and I'm 57 years old, and I was like 8 or 9, and that's clear as a bell to me. I mean, I can picture that just like it happened. And it really, it stuck with me.
Well, and
and my sister said, we just saw a UFO. My dad said, there's nothing out here. What are you doing? He said, get on back in here. He said,
But see, the old timers, like, they didn't look for stuff. They didn't have that mindset, because what they done was they they were just hard old men that had to work and do hard work, and they didn't have time to put up with this. But I can understand where you come from, because I did see something one time.
Yeah.
And it was something I couldn't explain.
Right, I couldn't explain that. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you it was from another planet. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was from Earth or if it was from, I don't know. But, it sure didn't look like a plane or helicopter to me. I don't know what it was.
Well, one thing I saw one time was, it had no shape to it. I guess they call it an orb.
Mm-hmm.
Like an orb, like a big light or whatever. It was, I'm getting kind of choked up talking about it, because it was, I've never seen anything like that before.
Right.
So, and I really have never told anybody about it, because it was something that, when you say something you can't explain,
it's trouble, because people, the first thing goes, oh, you're crazy, or were you drinking, or were you smoking something or something. But there's things out there that we can't explain.
And too, most people that do things like that, smoke or drink, they still know the difference between what's real and what's not.
Exactly. Where did it happen to you?
This happened, it was out near Lake Lanier in Gainesville. And, I know they got an airport out there and they got all this stuff, but generally, airplanes, they fly high over the lake. They don't fly low. And if it's a helicopter, you could hear it, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, and it could be just me thinking crazy, but just like you said, you don't want to. Yeah. Lake Lanier is the most haunted lake in America.
So, I've heard that. Yeah, for
so years. I don't know if it was something have to do with UFOs or something that's supernatural. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And it was just really weird, because you couldn't hear no boats, couldn't hear any of that stuff. It was just silent. Mm-hmm. And they have these old wives' tales and stuff like that about Lake Lanier and everything else, and we never paid that attention. We always went down there and went swimming and went, doing all that stuff. And but I did see that, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I'm like you with what me and my sister saw, and I probably go to my grave not knowing what that was. I would like to know, and like we're talking about the military with the stuff, I'm sure, without a shadow of doubt, I watched that thing on Prime, that UFO Age of Discovery, or Age of, and I forget what it was called. It was about, when will the government tell us? And they probably will never.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know the point, because you're going to have, like I said, I'm a Christian, and I believe in aliens. I do. I know people are going to say you're crazy, and I believe in God. And I had a preacher, Roy Clore, tell me one time, God rest his soul, good man. I asked him one time when I was younger, I said, what do you think about aliens, Pastor? He said, well, the Bible doesn't say anything about life on other planets, son. And he hesitated, and he said, but it doesn't say there's not. I'll never forget the way he did it. As he leaned in and had a look, he said, but it doesn't say there's not either, does it? He said, so I don't know. He said, I'm not going to say yea or nay.
Well,
he said, but he said, that's an awful waste of space. And it got me to thinking, this is a solid religious man.
And I'm just like you. I'm a Christian also. Yeah. I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus. I believe in all that. But there's other stuff out there.
There's other stuff out there.
There's a supernatural world where there's things we can't explain.
Exactly.
And
I believe that.
And I really want to get into finding out some of this stuff. Like,
I would love to know.
I mean, like going remotely out to places like Lake Lanier and stuff like that, and finding out things where, I mean, Lake Lanier is a creepy lake. Yeah.
I mean, I've never actually been on that lake in a boat. I've been by it up to a dozen times. But it does. It just gives you.
Yeah, it's a deadly lake. I mean, people die on it all the time.
And there's so many lakes around here that they had to take communities, and I understand the greater good. Like you take up just across the line in North Carolina, or right here in North Georgia, Notley, Hiawassee Lake. You had to do away with towns, Fontana, and I don't know.
And
I'm not saying I don't have all the answers, but I think there's something to the supernatural world, other stuff.
Yeah, and we really need to get into researching some of this stuff and trying to find out, what's going on behind the scenes on some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, and I understand. I think that, like I said, I think the government knows more than what they're telling them. But I understand their point too, because you're going to have some people, religious people, could handle it.
Yeah.
Some people couldn't, and the financial world, it would. If President Trump come on there and said, "Hey, look, there's aliens," blah blah blah, it would cause. Some people couldn't handle it.
No.
Some markets might. I realize that.
Yeah.
And sometimes the better part of valor is if you don't need to know, we're not going to tell you.
Right? So I mean, and it's kind of the like if you see something you can't explain, like we have, that's always in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Was it something, a figment of my imagination, or was it something that I made up that I just... But no, it's real.
Yeah.
So...
There was one other instance. Me and my cousin, Chris, we call him Lightning. And I love him like a brother. He's a good one. But we were up on this famed mountain. It ain't far from Murphy. And full disclosure here, we were drinking. And he's the one that got my attention. He said, hey, look at this. And we saw these lights shooting across the mountaintop. And I said, I made up something.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't know what they were, but on my about 8th or 9th beer, I was thinking, well, it could be Budweiser. But, he said, no, that ain't no a helicopter or nothing don't move that fast. And I said, well, I don't know. And he was getting pretty excited about it. And I was just kind of, let's just ignore it.
Yeah. It's like,
but never did figure out what it was, and I just went away.
Yeah.
And it could have been anything.
Yeah.
It could have been anything in the world. I'm just saying, like you said, there's some things out there that
it's unexplained
that we can't explain.
You know, and I think we really need to do a podcast where we need to remotely
actually go out there.
Somewhere where we need to.
And Lake Lanier would be a great place. I mean,
I think you know some great places too up there.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but Lake Lanier is such a.
There's a lot
Yeah.
there. I mean, you know, and I mean, history shows you know that there's a lot that's happened there.
Yeah, I mean, I hesitate because I don't want to say too much.
No.
Because like there's things where you can talk too much and then when you show up at that place, there's going to be people.
Yeah.
You know what
exactly,
I'm saying?
Exactly. And everything we've talked about could be explained logically. It could be.
Yeah.
But then there's another side, well, maybe not. You know, it's a lot of you don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And I think the government would like to keep us, they don't know. You know, a lot of times, you know, if you don't need to know, you know.
Well, if you're in the dark, you know, and you know, look at the news, look at what goes on. You know.
Exactly.
You know, it's done on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
where they keep everybody fighting with each other.
Oh yeah.
You know, if people we have more in common with each other than we don't.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
do.
everybody's always fighting with each other because they hear they hear it and they see it on the news, and it's like, do you really trust that?
Yeah.
I mean, just like the ice storm we're supposed to get here in the mountains.
Exactly.
Guess who got the ice storm?
Yeah, you know, it hit in spots. You know, like over in White County, they got hit bad. I heard Sweetwater, Tennessee got hit bad. But it's in spots. It seems to me like they could pinpoint the weather better 10 years ago than they can now.
So,
you know.
No, and with the weather, I mean, it's just like I was saying. It's like the way to tell the weather is to have an old rock.
There you go.
You throw the rock out in the yard.
Yeah.
If the rock is wet, it's raining. If the rock has snow on it, it's snowing. If it's dry, it's sunny.
I mean, you know, I watch these guys with all these satellites, computer models, and everything, and it seems like it's made them not be able to call it as much. You know, I mean, it's like a Tinder date. You might get 4 inches, you might get 8. You know, it's a crapshoot. You don't know.
You just don't know. You might get it or you might not.
Yeah, you know.
Depending on.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. It's like I told, and don't laugh at me now, Josh. And you guys out there, you can tell this fat old guy he's an idiot. But now, and my wife, she said, don't you tell people that because they're going to think you're stupid. I don't think we went to the moon in 1969. I said, my cell phone don't work half the time. And I said, they can't pinpoint the weather. And you're telling me 60 years ago we put, I hope I'm open-minded.
The only thing I don't, okay, look, it's best if we did go.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but where did the doom buggies come from?
You know, the thing I say, you know, when I tell my wife, I said, okay, I think we faked it, okay? But now, I'm open-minded. I think there's also that we did do it.
Yeah.
But ask me, do I think it's a bad idea that we faked it? No. It was the greatest idea in the world because it let Americans think there's nothing we can't do.
Yeah.
And if we work together and strive for a common good, there is no limit to what we can do.
Exactly.
You know, and you get all these, like we were talking, these wars. Okay, Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, Hindu, Buddha. What is the one central thing they all teach? Peace and love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yet we're still killing each other. You go back to the medieval time, the caveman or whatever, the ancient man picked up that first stick. You ever see 2001: A Space Odyssey when he kills the other one? You know, and we're still doing it today. We're just doing it a lot more faster.
Yeah.
And like in Ukraine, I mean that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, and what are we fighting over? The two main things we always fight over are religion and land.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. It's 2026, and we're still acting like it's 1226.
Well, I
mean, it's just ridiculous to me.
I
gotta help.
I think some societies they're above that.
Yeah.
I think other societies they haven't got to that point where
Right.
it's like, and you have to beat them into submission.
Yeah.
To get them there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, like when I used to be a kid, and my dad was like, "You don't need to do that," and they gave me an ass whooping.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. And I did it 3 more times, and then I got it 3 more times worse.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Quick story. Change so back to my cousin Chris.
Yeah.
When I said about, I had to take him to the bathroom when we were at a funeral.
Yeah.
Can't remember when it was, but he's several years younger than me. So anyway, I knew where the embalming room was in this funeral home. Don't ask me how, but anyway, I said the bathroom's right through that door. Well, shut the door, and I put a chair. And if he ever sees this, he's probably forgot that.
Yeah.
Traumatized, and he'll remember 50 years old. You son of a bitch. But I locked him in there. Well, they heard him crying and screaming, traumatized him. And I thought it was funny. Dad didn't. He said, "We'll deal with this later." Okay, all right, I may get a whooping. Well, he never mentioned it, so we go home, I'm watching TV after the wake, and I'm thinking, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Guess what? Dad didn't forget about that.
Nah, they don't forget.
He came in there, "Come in here for a minute, son." And he's got that black belt. God Almighty.
Yep.
Whatever. That black belt can settle a lot of world problems. But I guarantee you one thing, I never liked a kid in the embalming room in a funeral home ever again. All right?
And the bad thing is, like, when you think they forgot about it, and
Oh, yeah.
and then when it happens, it's like you're so relaxed and everything.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When you're ready for it, you're ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
When you ain't, that's even worse. It's like, so
Yeah.
I got it like that too. So, and I think a lot of the world's problem is children just think you owe them something. They're like, it's crazy. And growing up in a, in a society where, they are terrible situations where children are treated really
Oh, well,
bad.
yeah, my dogs actually get treated better, have a better life than some people.
My dogs get treated better than I do.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
And to me, I just can't comprehend that.
And, in society today, especially with the younger generations of people, that it's, we didn't have so-called pets in the house and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, we didn't either growing up. Now I do. I've got several dogs.
And, and it's okay. I don't mind it or whatever, but it's kind of like, it was kind of foreign to me because we didn't have that growing up. And,
Right.
That's, an animal is really an animal. It's not a human, but it's, a poor old dog don't want to be beaten.
No, I'm totally against, it's bad.
But, yeah, to get back on topic, though, the government, I guarantee you they got some shit.
Oh.
They got some shit.
I'm going to tell you. And I wondered about this. When we get hit with cyber attacks, they say it's China's thing. I'm thinking, why don't we hit them back? Well, maybe it's because they don't want them to know exactly what we've got.
Well,
and sometimes I think nuclear weapons probably are maybe obsolete now.
Yeah.
And,
what I was hearing about China's problem is they kind of weeded themselves out by having one kid.
Yeah.
I think it was for years they could only have one child or something like that. That's what I heard. I don't know. I never lived in China, but it was, if that was true, it's, and it was only the male child they kept.
Yeah, now their population is going down.
Yeah. Now it's more males than females.
Yeah.
And then you like, I mean, before it's over with, you know, I mean, I don't know if I'd want to go to China or not.
You know,
Because
I would love to see the Great Wall of China.
I would too, but
you know, but you go over there, it's like going to North Korea. If you were having to venture in there, they're going to grab you. Hey, you're a terrorist. You're a spy.
Yeah,
you know, I just came to see the Great Wall, buddy. But yeah.
Since you said that, every country does that.
Yeah.
Other than you know, this is what they were saying about people being invaded coming in America is every country you go to, they're gonna like want to know what you're doing there and why you're there and who you are and everything else, and you just can't just show up and go, I'm gonna be a citizen.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not a Republican, not a Democrat. I'm an independent, and you can't have a wide open door and say, "Come on in." We're not going to check anybody, but then too, you don't want to. You got to try to find a happy medium in there somewhere, you know. But if you go to one extreme to the other extreme, you're going to have, you know, it's just, you know, and that's what you got one extreme, and you had to go to another extreme to get it under control. It's find a happy medium. Yeah. But come on now, there are a lot of Hispanic people and a lot of immigrants that are just looking for a better life.
You can't blame them.
And you know, and they're good people.
Yeah.
But it's just like anything else. You're going to have good people, and you got a lot of bad people.
You have to know.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't let somebody in your house and like.
No.
You know, like just come on, like. I mean, the same thing with the country is like, you have to look at it like it's your home. You can't just let everybody in without knowing who they are.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean.
Okay. I'll give you an example. The other day I saw a guy come out of the woods up there and we don't have a lot of homeless, but we have some. He come out of the woods, you know, with a big poncho and everything. I'm thinking, man, it's going to get cold tonight. I hate it for this guy. And it bear it on my mind. You know, I said, well, then it's a voice like said, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to bring him into your house, okay, and then you wake up with your throat cut.
You want to, I mean, that's the bad thing is like.
How do you know? You know there's probably some mental illness involved.
You want to help people, and I do too. Everybody, but you can't. How do you know? I mean,
exactly.
I saw a guy walking down Blood Mountain one day in the rain, pouring down rain, and it was like just. And I thought, well, man, I could pick that guy up and just take him to where he was going. And I got thinking, well, if he's walking in the rain, there might be a reason.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I mean, it's sad that.
It's sad that we live in a world like that, but we do.
Yeah.
I mean.
And you don't know. You just don't know. I mean, it's hard to trust people because even people you think you know and stuff like that. You know, like this one person I know, cuss me out.
Yeah.
You just don't know. You know.
This is off subject, but getting back to that movie, A Few Good Men, Jack Nicholson. You know, he was the bad guy in it. But but in that courtroom, what he said. He said, you don't like to talk about this over the dinner table, but you need men like me on that wall. Yeah. Because if you don't, he said, there are going to be some bad people come to dinner.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he didn't say it like that, but he made a point. Yeah. You don't want to talk about this, but you need me on that, you know. Yeah. And you do. You got to have somebody to gate.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish you didn't. I wish we could all trust everybody, but it ain't that way. And getting back to aliens, think about it. If you're capable of interstellar travel, you're going to be highly advanced. If you look at us, my God, look what they do to each other.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do to us?
Well, if they're,
I would be terrified.
If they're that advanced, we're still in the Stone Ages. Like, we're still like,
exactly.
You know. If they can, I mean, we got technology and stuff like that. Yeah, we got weapons and stuff. But if they can show up out of nowhere,
they're probably thinking, why are they not trying to solve world hunger and all their diseases? They're still spending the bulk of their time killing each other.
Yeah, but
that's terrible.
Yeah, and God bless if they think like that. What if they don't even think like that?
Yeah,
what if they're just a totally different?
They may have a totally different mentality.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, study. It was the age of disclosure. I remember that movie now on Amazon I watched. And that one guy had a point. He said, they're not going to come here and solve all of our problems. You know, he said, you know, if you live 150 years, that creates a whole different other problem.
Yeah.
But he said, they're not here. He said, they're more here to observe and, you know, I might drop a suggestion every now and then. I don't know. But
if you look at it, it's all throughout history. Like, there's got to be something. Somebody has had to come and visit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the ancient people.
Yeah, look at the Great Pyramids, all that stuff.
Okay, could you imagine being one of those people and thinking or seeing something come out of the sky and it's like a big metal ship or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Other than a fiery chariot or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if you didn't know what it was, you just have to describe it as best you could.
Yeah.
Look, like that, getting back to that Venezuelan soldier, I saw that thing on YouTube. He said, we didn't know what it was. Nothing would work. And he said, I couldn't fire a gun because I couldn't even pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, I was bleeding out of my nose and, he just hammered.
Yeah.
You know, and they just walked in and got him. And you saw him and his wife, they were staggering around, probably still suffering from the effects.
Have you ever heard of the brown note?
Never heard of that.
It's a certain note. If they play it loud enough, you'll shit your pants.
Really?
Hey. The brown note. And
I've done that one time, but I was eating hot wings.
But
Never trust a fart.
That might be where some of that sonic. I mean, because that was a true thing. Like,
Yeah, really?
yeah, it was called the brown note, and it's a certain note that. If it hit, like I was saying earlier, like if you're in a club or something, you got that bass going through
Right.
You can feel it inside you.
Yeah.
Like, and they said there was a.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah. They said there was a brown note, like it can hit you a certain way, and you just shit your pants.
Oh my god, oh, that's hilarious. Oh,
I wish I could figure that out. Drive by and like burn.
Oh man.
So, well, I think we're going to wrap it up, Paul.
That sounds good. Hey, I know we've danced around here, but the bottom line, you know, our military, they probably got things that, you know, we have no idea.
No,
So,
I mean, and we probably don't want to know.
Don't want to know, but hey, God bless our men and women out there protecting us.
God bless America. God bless our troops, and God bless Trump, and God bless anyone who's involved with keeping us safe and keeping food on the table and everything else. And you know what? God bless our managers at work, and God bless our friends and family and everybody, and God bless our preachers and pastors that go out of their way to help us. And God bless you, Paul. God bless.
God bless you, Josh.
Thank you.
If nothing else, try to do something good this weekend. And God bless the DOT, because if we do get that snow, guys, we're counting on you. Keep them roads clear.
Yes, sir. Come on. And, you know, to you guys out there working hard on the roads and everything else, we give you a big hand. Thank y'all for putting your life on the line, and thank you for keeping us safe.
We'll raise one to you.
And we'll catch you on the flip, and we're going to get some more shows up, and we're going to be remote coming up soon, and we're going to do something great for you guys, and it'll be entertaining, and just hang in there.
Hope you enjoyed it.